So excited for everyone to be here. Today, we are talking about the top 5 best practices when building and launching a nutrition challenge and one mistake to avoid. Before we get going into all of the content, I'd love for you just to put in the chat, what bucket are you in? Are you a gym owner or a coach that runs the occasional challenge, has some informal conversations? I like to call that bucket A. Are you in bucket B? And maybe you might be in A and B. Did you ever have a nutrition program? Maybe you had a coach that went through an online certification, they built a program, and then the coach left and the program left. I think that a lot of gym owners that I talk to find themselves in that bucket B. And then bucket C, the gym owners that are running nutrition coaching programs, you're doing it, but maybe you feel overwhelmed with 5, 10 clients. You're thinking like, hey, I know there has to be a better way. So go ahead and type in the chat, what bucket are you in? Bucket C, nice. Bucket A, B, A, lots of A's. South Africa, Justin, welcome. C, bucket C. Oh, Autumn, awesome. Recognizing some names in here. Lots of bucket A's. Okay, cool. Perfect. Well, today we're going to really talk about how to build a successful nutrition coaching program. But the truth is, my goal is for all of you, if this is your goal, is to help you understand how to use a challenge to build an ongoing coaching program. I started working with CrossFit back in 2016, and one of the first articles I wrote for the journal was on something I called the challenge trap, where you run challenges maybe once or twice a year, but at the end of the challenge, the program kind of ends. And if you have found yourself in the challenge trap, I see you, I hear you, I have been in the challenge trap. And the problem with the challenge trap is people see really good results, but then they're in this like waiting period after the challenge is over, waiting for you to do the next one. So they see good results and then they fall off and they gain all the weight back because they don't have accountability and support. And then they're waiting just for the next challenge. And, obviously if we're dedicating our lives to helping people get healthy, we want them to see continued results. So we need to provide them that support to be able to do so. So today, when we think about this training is really, how do we leverage a challenge to help our clients kickstart their journey with nutrition with you, but really leverage an ongoing nutrition coaching program after the challenge is over? So again, today we are talking about the 5 best practices to be able to do that and one of the most common mistakes to avoid. I think it's important for you guys to understand, like, who am I if we haven't had an opportunity to meet virtually yet. My name is Nicole Coyne, and I'm the founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring, where we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. And what I started at Healthy Steps Nutrition has today been expanded to thousands of different gyms and trained thousands of coaches and gym owners to build, launch, and grow nutrition coaching programs. So ultimately, today I'm going to give you true guided, tested, and proven principles to help you fast track your progress so that you can launch a successful nutrition challenge and hopefully ongoing coaching program. I mentioned this a second ago, but over the past 8 years, we've had the opportunity to help thousands of gym owners and coaches. I recently had Rob. He is the owner of All Fit Orlando, amazing gym owner. He went from $0 in nutrition revenue a year ago to bringing in over $15,000 a month from nutrition. He started with a challenge, just like probably what your plan is, while we're sitting here today, and use that challenge to build an ongoing nutrition coaching program. If you're curious more about his story, go to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast and check out his episode. It is one of the more recent episodes, so you'll be able to find it super easily. So today, what are we talking about? 5 best practices, one mistake to avoid. And then I want to give you some tips to help you increase engagement with your nutrition challenge. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and dive right in. So what is best practice number 1? Best practice number 1 is to have a clear client journey. So I talked about, where are you positioning this challenge in relation to ongoing support with your nutrition coaching program? The way we preface a challenge is, hey, it's a kickstart to your journey, but there's ongoing coaching, ongoing support that we're going to provide you after the challenge is over to continue your progress towards your long-term goals. I haven't met one person that has done a nutrition challenge and seen their long-term goals for health and wellness during a 28-day challenge. Most people have goals that are going to take a lot longer than 28 days to achieve. So we want to be able to provide that support to them. So at Healthy Steps Nutrition HQ, and when we are working with gym owners, this is how we like to help gym owners and coaches kind of position your nutrition challenge or an initial 3-month commitment. Now, I'll let you know why we do 3-month commitments in a couple minutes. But one of the things that we want to think about is from your challenge, and ideally for a challenge in a gym, I would recommend 28 days. Over the past, 13 years, I've done challenges from 28 days up to 90-day nutrition challenges. And I don't know about you guys, but if you've done nutrition challenges in the past that are longer than like the 5-week mark, there is a big drop off with people. If they don't have the accountability and support, the individualized attention, the individualized touch points, people fall off. They aren't as engaged. You don't have a good ending participation rate. But 28 days is enough time for people to like kickstart their journey, get excitement, get going, but then you have a really good opportunity to convert those people to an ongoing coaching program. So that's one path to ongoing nutrition coaching. Personally, I recommend only running 1 to 2 challenges in-house per year. Why? Because if you run more than that, people are just going to wait for the next challenge. They're going to gain all the way back, and then it's going to be this vicious challenge trap cycle. But if you run 1 to 2 challenges a year, then people will continue with ongoing coaching after the challenge is over. Now, if you're thinking, Nicole, challenges bring me a lot of revenue, like I want to run more challenges. Okay, no problem. Do what Autumn is doing and go and do a bunch of different corporate wellness, go out into your community, do employee wellness challenges. 6-week challenges in employee wellness are super effective. Why do we recommend 6 weeks in employee wellness and not 6 weeks in our gym? Well, from experience, we do a lot of employee wellness at Healthy Steps Nutrition HQ. From experience, employees that are with each other 8 hours a day have a lot of extra accountability and support. So they see really good results. They're keeping each other accountable all day long. And it has shown to be more successful. So 6 weeks for employee wellness, go out and do as many of those during the year. Great revenue stream, great way to impact people who would have never come to your gym, which I think is super incredible. But 28-day challenge in a gym is what I would recommend. Now, individual coaching. This is truly where the magic happens. Individual coaching, I would strongly encourage you to do an initial 12-week program. Why 12 weeks? Well, people think that they can sit down with you one time and you're going to give them this magic wand and you're going to teach them everything they need to know. The truth is, the value of a nutrition coaching program isn't by fire hosing information to people. It's keeping them accountable. And if you don't have a program that involves accountability and support, your clients aren't going to get what they truly need, even if it's not what they think they need. Promise. I've worked in private practice since 2005, a lot of experience, but 12-week commitment is going to be a good amount of time for you to be able to build healthy habits with people, focus on one thing at a time. It's going to take pressure off of you as a coach, or if you're a gym owner, it's going to take pressure off of your nutrition coach to not feel like they have to be a fire hose of information so that clients then feel overwhelmed when they leave. It also gives you enough time for probably something in life to happen during 3 months with clients where it might be a little bit of a struggle for them to stay on track. And the coach shows the value of accountability and support to keep the clients on track. So we want to make sure for an initial or individual coaching program, initial 12 weeks is a good option, and then rolling into a membership. Now, for gym owners, it's easy to think about this. When I talk to dietitians and do things with standalone nutrition coaches, this is a little bit more of a challenging conversation. But with a gym, you have people on a membership. You're not convincing them to re-sign up their membership every single month. It's automatic. And with nutrition coaching, it should be the same way. because you're providing accountability support between those in-person visits. If we're just having people pay as they go or pay for follow-up visits, then you're not really billing for your time of the check-ins between in-person visits. And if you don't provide those, clients might not be getting the support they need to truly see the results that they're looking for. So pricing, packaging, you need a clear client journey. If you are a gym owner listening to this and you're like, hey, how much do I pay my nutrition coach? Typically, gyms that run our program, what we do at our HQ location, between 45 and 50% of the revenue coming from nutrition is typically what nutrition coaches will make. Now, if you have multiple coaches, say let's multiple coaches doing a nutrition challenge, you would want to assign challenge participants to that one coach. So they're working with a list of people and another coach is working with a list of people. And then the coach is getting paid for the percentage of the clients that they're actually working with. So number one, we need a clear client journey. Number two, we need to deliver professional experience. And I think this is probably the thing that most gym owners do not think about enough, in my opinion, when you think about building a nutrition coaching program. Because the truth is if you don't have systems, if you don't have a professional experience, what ends up happening is you're like writing frantically on a piece of paper and then giving that client a piece of paper to walk away with. And that's kind of what they're walking away with. So it's not just that informal conversation. The other thing is like, what is the resources? What are the tools that they're going to use between those in-person visits? I remember when I started Healthy Steps Nutrition in 2012, I was the type of person that's writing on the piece of paper and people walked away. But the problem is the piece of paper was different for every single client. There wasn't consistency. And I started as just a private practice. So my clients didn't necessarily talk to each other. But in a gym setting, your clients talk to each other. So we have to really think about that professional experience. So from a blanket standpoint, what does that actually look like? From a challenge, you want to have some deliverables, right? Like what are clients going to receive? I definitely would recommend that you have some type of handbook that you give your clients that talks about what is a protein, what is a carb, what is a fat, tips for meal prepping, tips for having balanced breakfast, tips for staying hydrated, and some healthy recipes. Even some sample meal ideas would be a good option there. You want to have some way to track habit compliance and progress. So a lot of gym owners that come to us are like, hey, I'm using a bunch of Google Sheets. That is one of the reasons why we built the Healthy Steps Nutrition app, because it has habit compliance in there. It's really easy for a client, a coach to see, is my client staying accountable? Are they doing what they said they were going to do it during weekly check-ins for individual coaching? But also for a challenge, we want to be able to track habits. One of the things that we did about 6 months ago is partner with SugarWOD, and we built out a 28-day nutrition challenge in there so people can track habits right in SugarWOD if you use that integration and do the challenge through Healthy Steps Nutrition, which is a really, really easy option, turnkey solution for you. You also want to think about communication throughout the challenge. So what are they actually receiving? I'll show you what we do with our challenges in a few minutes so that you can get some different ideas. You also want some educational videos, right? So, I think sometimes when we meet with clients, we feel like we have to give them all of the information and that leaves them feeling really overwhelmed. But if we just do it more like bite-sized information pieces, then clients are going to easily be able to retain that instead of feeling overwhelmed, which is really important for clients to actually see results, right? Because if they're feeling overwhelmed, they're probably not going to stay consistent, and consistency is the driver of results. So we want that for sure. We also want some healthy recipes. I would encourage you, if you don't have any healthy recipes, go to healthystepsnutrition.com. Check out some of our healthy recipes. Egg roll in a bowl is super easy. It's only 3 ingredients. Great option to try. So I think it's important to kind of, when you're thinking about what could my nutrition program look like, or what should it look like, you need some consistency, especially within your coaching staff. Here's what our coaching program looks like at Healthy Steps Nutrition. We believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. But we know that helping our clients see the best results possible isn't just about this nutrition factor. It's not just about them coming to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. We really have to focus on a holistic approach. And if I'm honest, it took me way too long to figure this out. I wish I had found this or realized this years before we actually did. But I pigeonholed myself when I started Healthy Steps Nutrition, just talking about nutrition. And as I started working with more and more and more clients, I realized, man, if I'm not talking about stress management and mindset, if I'm not talking about sleep, all of these things are impacting nutrition decisions, right? When we don't get enough sleep, our cortisol levels are increased. We're more stressed, right? We also, our leptin, which is the hormone that makes us satisfied, is decreased when we're not getting enough sleep. And ghrelin, which is the hormone that makes us hungry, is increased when we don't get enough sleep. So we're more stressed, more hungry, and less satisfied with what we eat. That is a terrible combination when we think about eating healthy, staying on track, losing weight, which is a goal for a lot of our clients. So these things are important to help clients understand what they eat impacts how they sleep impacts what they eat and how they feel. Like they're all interconnected. So when we take this model and then put it into a usable format for clients during a challenge, what could that potentially look like? Well, at Healthy Steps Nutrition, we have 4 pillars that we focus on during a nutrition challenge. One of them is going to be related to nutrition. And our nutrition pillar is really focused around 3 core principles that we believe at Healthy Steps Nutrition. And the first one is whole foods first. I want our clients to eat more healthy foods. If I tell you can't have a cookie, naturally what's going to happen is you're going to think about having this cookie, and then you're going to envision this like warm, gooey, chewy cookie. And then when you finally get the cookie, you're probably going to eat more than just one, or you're not going to be satisfied with just one. We're going to overconsume that, right? So if I start telling clients you can't have X, Y, and Z, naturally, we're not children. We're going to figure out a way to have probably more of that because I told you couldn't have it. Versus I tell you, hey, I want you to try to cut up some raw vegetables and incorporate them for lunch. I want you to try this roasted broccoli recipe. It's so delicious. It's crunchy and it's flavorful. You can add different seasonings. I want you to load up your plate with those vegetables, and I want you to eat those first. Then I want you to have your protein, your lean meats, and then have your starch. Have some starch. Have some sweet potato, quinoa, butternut squash. Have some brown rice. What ends up happening when we eat whole foods first, when we eat those veggies, when we eat our lean meats, when we have a little bit of starch, we're naturally going to cut down the amount of starch, the amount of processed junk that we have, because we're filling up our stomach with vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and the macronutrients that are keeping us full and satisfied. So whole foods first. The next thing we talk about is balance, pairing protein, carbs, and fats together. Why? Number 1, it helps keep us full and satisfied when we pair protein and fat with carbohydrates. Number 2, most people don't get enough protein throughout the day. So if we're prioritizing protein with every meal and snack, they're more likely to hit their protein goal for the day. And number 3, our third core principle at Healthy Steps Nutrition is limiting the amount of processed junk and sugar that people overconsume. It's very technical terms, I know. The reason for that is, when we look at the leading causes of chronic disease, and ultimately our mission at Healthy Steps Nutrition is simple: help people take control of their health one step at a time so they can prevent and reverse chronic disease. When we look at chronic disease, the reasons for chronic disease and the leading causes of death in the United States, 9 of the top 10 are caused or worsened by elevated blood sugar. I worked in the hospital for a few years as a registered dietitian, and this was the one thing that irked me more than anything else. The way we taught people how to manage their blood sugar was so backwards. It didn't even make sense. And ultimately, that was the leading driver of one of the reasons why I left the hospital full-time to pursue this passion side hustle I call it Healthy Steps Nutrition. But we want to make sure that we're empowering people to eat more whole foods and take control of their health. So focusing on that first. Then we're talking about stress management and mindset. If you've never addressed mindset with your clients, I challenge you to read the book Soundtracks by John Acuff. He's for those of you guys, I saw quite a few CrossFit gym owners and coaches that registered for this. this webinar. John Acuff does CrossFit in Nashville with Caleb, the owner of CrossFit East Nashville. And he's super awesome human being, but he talks a lot about mindset and overcoming overthinking. And, even when we look at Atomic Habits and James Clear, like the fundamental pieces of mindset are so important when we talk about habit change and becoming the person that we want to become, because truthfully, we have to believe that we can become that person. And it comes down to mindset. So we want to address mindset with our clients. Ultimately, that's going to help them become the best and healthiest versions of themselves and feel their best. And next thing we need to talk about is sleep. Sleep is super important. I kind of mentioned it already before. Having at least 7 to ideally 8 hours of sleep per night is recommended for adults. And then exercise. This is something I didn't address enough either early on in Healthy Steps Nutrition. We, especially as a gym owners, we're talking about, hey, we want you to get in here in our gym 3 to 4 times a week into our physical location. But what happens the other days of the week? I don't know about you guys, but I work from this desk. This is my home desk, like right next to my kitchen in my bedroom. Most days, right? I am here, and there will be days where I am sitting here for hours and hours. Like, what happens on the days that we aren't in the gym? For many of our clients, and maybe for us, I can speak from experience, we aren't probably super active because we're working. So we want to encourage our clients to go for a quick walk, do something active when we are not physically active in the gym. It's going to do a few things. Number 1, getting outside is so good for your mental health. Number 2, going for a walk is really good for overall health and also decreasing your blood sugar after you eat. So I would encourage you to encourage your clients to go for a walk. 30 minutes of daily activity is one of the habits that we recommend. Now, if they're going and doing a class at your gym, awesome, great. That clearly counts, but we can't just work out for 2 hours one day and count it for all the days of the week. We want to stay consistent with that. So when we think about professional experience, I think this is, delivering a professional experience, I think this is the roadblock that a lot of gym owners struggle with. And this is one of the reasons why we created the HSN and SugarWOD integration for gym owners looking to launch a nutrition challenge using a habit-based approach, addressing a holistic framework. We've built out all of the professional videos, the content, everything for you. So if you are looking for a turnkey solution, definitely click the link in the workbook. Check out this challenge intensive. We have a full training on it to help you be able to deliver a professional nutrition coaching program in your gym and a challenge. I can tell you, we spend an obscene amount of money on professional media so that it is a super professional experience. And then you're the one that's actually working with your clients. You're getting the revenue from your nutrition coaching program. So I would strongly encourage you to when you think about what you're going to do, if you're going to do it yourself version, what are the video types that you're going to be talking about? What habits are you going to track? How is it going to actually work? In the SugarWOD integration, we have people track points, and then it all goes to a leaderboard, which is pretty neat. So we want a clear client journey. We want a professional experience. The third thing, do not underestimate the power of a consistent message in your gym. You need your entire staff on board. Why? People are overwhelmed and confused because they don't know what diet is right for them. There are millions, over 150 million search results when you type in diet. People are confused. They don't know what's right for them. The average person tries 7 to 8 diets before seeking a professional. So diet is not new to our people, right? They've tried a lot of different things. And if your staff isn't saying a consistent message, if they're not sure what your nutrition coaching program or your challenge is about, you're not going to get your members signed up, or you're going to make your job as a gym owner or nutrition coach exponentially harder because you're the one that's going to have to convince every person to join in. So what would I encourage you to do? Number 1, if you're a gym owner and you offer a nutrition coaching program, there are a lot of people that don't, but if you're a gym owner and you have a nutrition coach, sign up for your challenge. Actually do it. Participate in your nutrition challenge. Also, let your coaches know what's happening before you announce it. I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios, and you guys can let me know in the chat which one you think would get more people signed up. Let's pretend I was in your gym and you are launching a nutrition challenge, and I'm a member, and I got an email this morning and I'm going into afternoon class. I got an email this morning and it said, so excited, we're launching a nutrition challenge. Click the link to sign up here. And it talked a little bit about it, but I have some questions that I thought I would get answered in the class. So I go up to the coach and I say, hey, can you tell me a little bit about this nutrition challenge? Like, what is it going to be about? And the coach doesn't even know, is very unsure and says, I don't know, you're going to need to talk to Susie, the owner. Do you think that would make me feel really confident about joining your nutrition challenge? You guys can type in the chat. Or if you're listening to this recording, think about it. Do you think that would make me feel really confident? Or scenario number 2, which is what I recommend, spoiler alert, you decide you're going to launch a challenge. Let's pretend you're planning to launch a challenge May 1st, which a lot of gyms are planning to launch challenge May 1st. Okay, great. We have a staff meeting where you're explaining to me, hey, this is what's going to happen in the challenge. I want you to be a part of it. I want you to experience the program. I want you to get healthy yourself, but I want you to be a leader in our community and encourage other people to do it with you. So if I were to ask the coach and they're doing it and they're excited and they know what's going on and they're able to tell me, I'm going to feel so much more confident and want to join the nutrition challenge, right? So we want to get our staff on board. Really, really important. Have your staff do the challenge. I look at it as a marketing expense for us to have our staff do the challenge. I'm paying the coach the amount that they should be paid, but I want our staff to be a part of it. Now, if they want to continue with individual coaching after the challenge is over, then the coach, the staff member, is going to pay the 50% that we're paying the nutrition coach. I'm not going to lose money because my coach wants to do ongoing nutrition coaching with one of our nutrition coaches, one of our dietitians. But I do think it's super valuable that they can talk from experience and talk authentically about your program. All right, number 4. So staff are on board. Number 4, individual meetings. So I don't know about you guys, but in challenges that I ran years and years ago, I had it like a conveyor belt where we would do the kickoff seminar on a Saturday, let's say at 11 o'clock. And I said, come in between 9 and 11 to do a scan before our kickoff seminar at 11. Type in the chat if you've done that before. So you're running a nutrition seminar, right? Your kickoff for your nutrition challenge, you're running a nutrition seminar. And you say, come in between 9 and 11 to do a scan. Now, typically what happens is people will come in at 10:50. And then you have a long line of people that are waiting to get scanned right before your 11 o'clock seminar. And then it pushes everything back and it's not a great experience for them. It's stressful for you. There's no accountability. There's no time to sit down and actually talk to people. So you want to have individual meetings. The one fundamental vital piece to kicking off a challenge to build an ongoing coaching program is these individual meetings. So let's talk about it. What is the goal of an individual meeting? So the first one is to help your client set goals. People have an unrealistic expectation of what they can lose in 28 days because you look at advertisements on the radio, you look at magazine covers. It's like, lose 30 pounds in 30 days and all this crazy stuff. So they don't know what's realistic. You want to help set them up for success. And I think this is a big missing piece of the puzzle. Most people that do individual meetings with clients are just talking about what success looks like in 28 days. So we're launching a 28-day challenge and typically 1 pound per week is super realistic. You say lose 4 to 5 pounds is super realistic, 1% body fat. And that's the goal that you set with a lot of your clients. But the problem with that is they've established that success is losing 5 pounds. When they lose the 5 pounds at the end of the challenge, they're going to check it off and they're going to go on to the next thing. Versus what I strongly encourage you to do. And if you have been taking notes or you haven't, this is the one thing I would write down. When you meet with individual clients, what you want to do is zoom out. What does success look like for you 6 months, a year from now? If you were to invest your time, energy, your resources into your health and wellness, dial in your nutrition, prioritize sleep and mindset and exercise, what does success look like for you a year from now? Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're having people visualize where it is. And then we're going to ask them a follow-up question. How is this going to impact your day-to-day? How is this going to impact the people you love? Right? We're getting it to be a more sticky goal to find out why it's important to them to reach that goal, right? So now we go from losing 5 pounds to maybe it's losing 40 pounds, right? Okay, great. Now let's talk about how long is it going to take to lose that 40 pounds? Typically 1 pound per week. So that's 40 weeks. So however many months that is, you're at about 6, 7 months of working with me to reach that long-term goal. Now we zoomed out long-term. I want to lose 40 pounds. Now let's zoom in. What's realistic to accomplish over the next 28 days during the challenge? Now we've reached our first milestone. So zoom out, zoom in. And then the other thing we want to do, of course, is test biometrics, right? We want to test those biometrics. I strongly encourage you to test, weight, body fat percentage, muscle mass, and then also do some measurements. You have to find bright spots for people. Yes, of course, we'll talk about non-scale victories too, energy levels, sleep, how they're feeling, how their clothes are fitting, but you want to have some objective bright spots too. And inches fall off so much faster than body fat percentage. Now, if you're building an ongoing coaching program, I still encourage you just do biometric testing once a month with clients. The more you do it, the more obsessed they become of it and they build the success around that versus, hey, this is just a checkpoint. We want to have some objective data here once a month, especially for ladies, as our body changes throughout with our cycle. We're retaining a little bit more water during some certain points. So we just want to make sure staying consistent once a month is what's recommended there. So big picture, zoom out and zoom in. Some other initial meeting tips. Number one, have 20-minute meetings, but set up a buffer between each one so that you can finish what you need to do, close out that one meeting, go to the bathroom if you need to, and get set up for the next meeting. Also, when someone signs up for your challenge, go ahead and prompt them to book that initial meeting. Now, those initial meetings, let's pretend a lot of gyms are launching challenges, not pretend, a lot of gyms are launching challenges May 1st. So what they're going to do is they're going to have those initial meetings the week before May 1st. So like April 22nd up to April 28th when they do a kickoff seminar. So you're going to have all those individual meetings, and then the kickoff seminar is going to be like your pep rally, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. So individual meetings. And then the other thing is we want to book the final meeting at the initial meeting, and I'll talk about why in a few minutes. Let's talk about the most common mistakes. So there's a lot of mistakes that people make during these initial meetings. And this is something that we really focus on a lot with HSN mentoring because this is a new concept for a lot of gym owners and coaches, and we want to make sure that you nail it. But the one piece that a lot of people struggle with is just focusing on, hey, what you're going to accomplish during those 28 days. If you just focus on what people accomplish during 28 days, they're going to check it off when they reach that goal and you're done with them, versus zoom out. What does success look like for you a year from now? Then zoom in. What's realistic? Let's hit our first milestone at the 28-day mark together. The other piece of the puzzle is not digging into the why. What do I mean by that? If you have someone and they say they want to lose 40 pounds and then we end there, that's not sticky. Like that's not a real reason like, oh, I just want to lose 40 pounds. We have to dig a little bit deeper. Tell me a little bit more about that. Anything else coming up for you about that? How will this impact the people you love? For a lot of our parents, like I'm guiding them to that answer essentially, but having them say the answer, how will this impact your kids? Like you're going to have to create healthy habits to reach those 40 pounds, the 40 pounds of weight loss. How is this going to impact your kids? Oh man, they're going to learn some healthy habits. They're probably going to try new things. Well, that's awesome because you want them to be able to create these healthy habits at a young age, right? So we can guide them and like understand. So it's not just about them. And a lot of times when you talk about weight loss in particular, a lot of it comes down to confidence, right? Like people will naturally say, I want to lose X number of pounds. A lot of times they say, because I have clothes in my closet that don't fit me. And then what is significant about those clothes? Well, I felt really confident in those clothes. Okay. How is that going to impact your day-to-day life if you had the more confidence? How is it going to impact your relationships? Now we're starting to dig a little bit deeper into what is important, what makes them tick. Because the truth is, progress is not a straight line. The truth is, clients are likely going to fall off when they're working with you, and you have to help them get that back on track. And one of the easiest ways to do that is understand why the specific goal is important to them. A huge mistake so many people make is not booking the ending meeting. So the last thing you do in the ending meeting is book the individual meeting, the final meeting. So there's a point on the books. If you struggle with people ending the challenge, book the ending meeting at the beginning meeting. If you're running a challenge right now and you haven't booked the ending meeting, go reach out to every single person and book the ending meeting at the initial meeting. If you didn't do initial meetings, book an ending meeting so that you can talk to them about what success looked like during that challenge. Talk about the bright spots, talk about any obstacles, assess their progress, and then talk about what the plan is for you guys to work together moving forward. All right. So if you are thinking, Nicole, all of this sounds really great, but this is like a fire hose of information that you were talking about before, and I need some more help. Awesome. The challenge intensive. So we built out a turnkey solution in SugarWOD for a nutrition challenge. This is also in the HSN mentoring app for all of our mentoring clients too. But we've built out a 1-day live virtual training to teach you everything you need to plan, launch, and execute a nutrition challenge. There's a ton of opportunity to role play and practice. There's a group support call after that to role play and practice even more. And there's an individual mentoring call to help you role play and practice. We give you all the templates. We give you everything so that you feel really confident when delivering a professional nutrition coaching program in your gym. The cool thing is, because you're providing the individualized support, because you're delivering a professional service, you can justify charging more than you probably have with challenges in the past. All right, so let's talk step number 5. Group engagement during the challenge. What does that look like? Well, we need a platform to be able to engage people in a group, but I would venture to say the first thing starts off with the kickoff seminar. Think of this, and our friends in Canada, I have some staff members that are in Canada, and they tell me that they didn't have pep rallies in high school. But for all of our US friends, if you ever had a pep rally in high school, you know how fun those were. You know how exciting that was for you. Think of your kickoff seminar as your pep rally. Your goal in the kickoff seminar is simple. Get everyone super excited, help them understand how they're going to keep track of what you're focusing on during the challenge, and provide them simple, actionable steps. I think a big mistake people make is they fire hose information during the kickoff seminar. But the cool thing is if you're delivering a professional service and you have videos, you don't have to fire hose everything because you know they're getting bite-sized information about making health a way of life every single day during the challenge. So we're teaching them the fundamentals on day 1, but then they're getting more information to help support and build those healthy habits every single day throughout the challenge. I will typically give out different things for people, especially if this is a corporate wellness kickoff seminar that we hosted at a construction company, and we gave out custom Yeti cups during that, just for people who were doing something fun or had invited a friend to join the challenge with them. So giving out some simple prizes could be a really good option. Another thing that I would encourage you to do is give out weekly prizes during the challenge, not for the person that stuck to everything perfect, but the person that's encouraging other people during the challenge, right? We don't want people to feel like they've failed, that they're not 100% perfect. We want people to engage. The most engaged people convert over to ongoing coaching, and they see better results, right? They're encouraging other people. When you teach something, when you're encouraging someone, you're more likely to do it yourself. So kickoff seminar, what are the goals here? Get everyone super excited, show them how to engage during the challenge. So if you're an HSN mentoring client, you're going to show them how to use the app, how to check off the habits, how to engage in the group feature within the HSN app. If you are using the SugarWOD integration, you're going to show them how to log their points so that it goes to the leaderboard in SugarWOD. If you are doing another route, maybe you're doing forms for them to fill out. Whatever you're doing, I encourage you to keep it simple, keep it consistent so that your clients will actually do it. All right. During the challenge, what is your role in the challenge? So if you are partnered with HSN, or if you're doing it yourself, your role still is going to be putting your personal touch on the challenge, right? So you might have mini weekly challenges like show me your grocery cart, share a healthy recipe. You want to share a healthy recipe as well. Share that recipe, share that picture, encourage other people to try it. One of the things that we post on social media, or I post on my personal social media often, is the healthy food that we're trying, the healthy recipes. And I share it. And guess what? Our members, our following, use those recipes because they see us doing it and how easy it is. So I encourage you to do the same. Now, if your staff members are involved in the challenge, maybe they're not actually delivering the challenge, but they're wanting to be involved a little bit. This is a really great place for them to be involved. Share healthy recipes, encourage each other, so that people can see your leadership team being bought in to your nutrition coaching program. All right. So what is the biggest mistake that people make? I think the biggest mistake in regards to delivery of a nutrition coaching program and using the challenge to convert people to ongoing coaching is ineffective individual meetings, meaning we don't actually meet with people individually. We do like that conveyor belt method. I've definitely been there, done that. I got no one converted over to ongoing coaching when I did that method. Not talking about those long-term goals and short-term goals, not feeling confident. So a couple of days ago, we hosted a group call with coaches and gym owners on challenge conversion meetings. And we role play, our team role plays first, and then we let other people role play as well. And after we did the final meeting, one of the coaches said, you didn't even ask, like, where was the point that you asked to convert to ongoing coaching? I was like, well, I'm really confident in the value that we're going to provide with ongoing coaching. I know that my client didn't meet their long-term goal during the nutrition challenge. I'm assuming, unless they state otherwise, that they are moving on and we're working together in the future. It's not another sale. It's, hey, that we reached the first milestone now. Awesome. Now let's continue. It's kind of like if you do an on-ramp in your CrossFit gym. Are you like having a whole nother sales process after the on-ramp? Or are you assuming they're graduating, they're going to go into classes after? I mean, I'm assuming when people finish my on-ramp program, they're moving on to ongoing coaching. I haven't had one person, or going into group classes, I haven't had one person say, no, never mind. I'm going to go do this at LA Fitness or Planet Fitness or wherever else. Like, no, they're moving, they're graduating into our group classes. So same idea there. I think it's important for you to understand what is the difference between individual coaching and a challenge. So with a challenge, everyone is focused on the same habit, right? Everyone is doing the same thing. With individual coaching, we really should be focused on what our client is wanting and where our client is starting from. We also want to make sure that we're having individual touch points. I recommend weekly check-ins. Most of our coaches, all of our coaches will do that through the Healthy Steps Nutrition app. Video messages are really effective, showing that personalized touch. So you want to have individualized support, and you need to have a clear explanation of what is the value that you're going to provide with individual coaching. Now, with a challenge, all of the engagement, except maybe one check-in in the middle, is group engagement through whatever platform you're using. So through SugarWOD, maybe you make a Facebook group. If you're an HSN mentoring client, you're using the HSN app. So really important there. If I said the biggest mistake is ineffective meetings, I think the second biggest mistake is like not having a clear path to what happens after a client moves forward. So, we need to know, all right, someone says yes, someone is moving forward. What happens next? Typically, I would recommend starting their ongoing coaching membership that day and book them in for a follow-up visit 2 weeks out. So book them in for a follow-up visit. You'll help create a habit with them between now and then, the thing that they're going to focus on, maybe something during the challenge that they weren't very consistent with, that they're excited to work on and get more consistent with. And then we're going to have a follow-up visit. Remember, part of the path for nutrition coaching and part of the benefit of doing a nutrition challenge is we're moving right into that ongoing nutrition coaching program. The other thing I will mention that I didn't mention before is we want to make sure to charge more for your challenge than your ongoing coaching rate. Charge more for your challenge than your ongoing coaching rate. At HSN HQ, we just launched a challenge. Well, it's actually ending up, I think, next week. But we launched a challenge, and our ongoing coaching rate. So if you were doing ongoing coaching with us at our HQ location, it's $149 a month, $149 a month. Our nutrition challenge was $179. They're not going up in price after the challenge. They're going down in price. One of the benefits to continue to move to ongoing coaching right from the challenge, you go down in rate. You're not having to start at the $223 per month rate that we have at our HQ location. So hopefully this all makes sense to you. We want to make sure that we have a clear path. If someone says no right away, what happens? I would set up a check-in with them, just like a goal setting session at the 6-week mark to revisit. Hey, how are you doing without the accountability and support from a nutrition coaching program, and give them one more opportunity to move into an ongoing coaching program. So hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all right now, please type them in the chat. We're going to have about 10 minutes left over for me to answer any questions live. So what are your next steps right now? Number one, we have 2 podcasts that we release episodes almost every week. One is called Grow Your Nutrition Business, where we provide simple, actionable steps to help you build a nutrition coaching program in your gym. If you are already listening to those podcast episodes, or you decide to start listening, I would really love it. It would do me a huge favor if you left us a review. That would be really great. Nutrition Made Simple. This is a podcast that we started making that's direct to clients. Our mission here is to help 1 million people take control of their health so they can prevent and reverse chronic disease. I know that we can't do it alone with our small team. We need gym owners and coaches with their boots on the ground. But I also know that people listen to podcasts, and if we can get out free help to help them take one step and then ultimately hopefully find a Healthy Steps nutrition coach near them, which is the call to action on every single podcast episode on Nutrition Made Simple, that is a really good option. So if you are looking for more tools in your toolbox to talk about nutrition, that would be a good podcast for you. HSN Mentoring does have a 1-day challenge intensive. So basically everything you need, all the templates, all the marketing support, all the social media posts, like everything you need to plan, launch, and execute a nutrition challenge. We built out this challenge in SugarWOD, so it's easy for you to implement. You get access to it. This program is super beneficial for any gym owner looking to use a habit-based approach and build a nutrition challenge to really kickstart an ongoing coaching program. This challenge intensive includes a 1-day training. The next one we have is March 28th. The gym owners, our official recommended start date for that is going to be May 1st. Marketing templates, the handbook, the recipes, everything that you need. And most importantly, it gives you a lot of time to practice the initial meeting and final meeting so that you feel really confident. The SugarWOD integration is pretty awesome. If you're an HSN mentoring client, you're not using that because it's all built in the app as well. Yeah. And we are hosting a live event here on Saturday, March 25th in Deerfield Beach, Florida. If you are in Florida and you would like to join us, I would love for you to join us. It's going to be a really great time to connect with other like-minded gym owners, learn more about habit-based coaching, about building nutrition coaching program in your gym. If you sign up for the challenge intensive, we will give you 1 free ticket to that. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, great. At the initial meeting or Kickstart seminar, do you recommend giving out printables? So giving out tools and resources, handbook. I personally I'm the type of person that likes to write something. I don't want it to be an informal conversation. I like to take notes, but some people don't like to take notes. And if you aren't giving them something that has a professional resource that has stuff for them to reference back, you're going to cause yourself to have more emails and questions, but throughout the challenge, versus giving them something tangible to walk away with, to write notes on, so that they can use that during the challenge. And it also just is a more professional experience. We personally will get custom folders printed at Vistaprint. Never get anything full price there. There's always discount code online. We'll get like HSN printed folders, and then we'll just put the handbook right in there. That's about 10 pages, and it gives people a place to write on, but also gives them something tangible to look through during the kickoff seminar. I would encourage you to give that during the kickoff seminar, not during the individual meeting. You want everyone to go to the kickoff seminar. Why? Because you want them to connect with other people that are doing the challenge. Part of a challenge, part of the benefit is the community aspect of it. So you want to get other people connected with each other. And if you give them all of what they need in an individual meeting, likely they're going to ask you a ton of questions during that. And now your 20-minute meeting is more like an hour meeting, and they'll probably not go to your kickoff seminar. So you want to do the individual meeting, talk about goals, test their biometrics, get them super excited to then get everything that they need during the kickoff seminar. Great question. Anything else coming up for you guys? Any other questions that you have? No? If we don't use SugarWOD, sounds like we need to be an HSN mentoring client. So great question, Rick. So you do not have to use SugarWOD. We actually have challenge trackers that are in Google Sheets. We have all the emails and everything written out for you, videos for you to post in like a Facebook group. So you can do that. I will tell you that almost everyone that's done the challenge intensive since we released the SugarWOD integration has used it, just because it's a little bit easier, and they'll like sign up for SugarWOD just for that month to be able to use it. Or we have all of it in like a virtual format for you to use. It's just a little bit easier, less work for you if you use the SugarWOD integration. And there is a discount for us. If we don't have an in-body, what do we use? Okay, tape measure, absolutely. Those are like $1. Get the tape measure. So we personally use an in-body at our gym. I don't think you need to spend $5,000, $6,000 on a machine to run an effective nutrition coaching program. You do need a way to test biometrics. You want a consistent way. So a lot of gyms will end up that have run challenges before will have like an in-body or some supplement company, or send clients to a supplement store to get a scan. And then they're ended up sold on a bunch of stuff that they don't necessarily need, or you're like switching machines midway or for an ongoing coaching program. So I would encourage you, whatever you use, keep it consistent, use it. There is a home version of an in-body that a lot of our gyms will get. That's only like $300 on Amazon. Pretty good option to use. So I would encourage you use that. You definitely want an option that you have in-house to be able to test those biometrics to keep it consistent. The home version of the in-body, again, I think it's like $300. That would be what I would use. Great question. Okay. Do you test these biometrics at the beginning, at the end, or weekly? So I do not recommend testing weekly. Number one, people get obsessed with the numbers. And if they don't see a number change, like it just takes time for people to lose weight. So I would encourage just monthly testing biometrics. Also, women tend to fluctuate water retention throughout their cycle. So if your weight goes up, it likely could be water retention, and then they get super frustrated and down on themselves. So I would encourage you just monthly, and then also do the tape measure at the same time monthly, because inches fall off a lot faster than body fat percentage. And you want to find those bright spots. You want to find those positives. When people see wins, it leads to motivation. Success leads to motivation. So we want our clients to see those wins. We just need to make sure that we've got enough data to show them the wins. And of course, looking at non-scale victories as well, like energy level, sleep, how they're feeling, how their clothes are fitting, how they're recovering in their workouts. All of those things are important. Okay. I'm a coach. I'm not a gym owner. Can I set up the SugarWOD integration? Yes. You can do that. It would need to likely be through the gym's account. So I would work with the gym owner to be able to, because we would get it on top of the business account, but you could facilitate the program easily. We do have a lot of gym owners that go through, or coaches that go through the challenge intensive to deliver it, but then the SugarWOD integration is like actually pushed out through the owner, the business account where all of the athletes are under. So Christy, it's easy for that to happen. No worries at all there. Any other questions that you guys have for me? Oh, there's another question that popped in the Q&A. Let me see. How do I track non-scale victories? Oh, this is a good one. So I like to have clients during our initial consultations. I like to have them rate from A to F and tell me the reason why. So, hey, Katie, we're going to spend a couple minutes. I just want to find out about these other pieces of the holistic framework that we really focus on at Healthy Steps Nutrition. So I'm just going to ask you like how you would rate these things. A, meaning like I am killing it. F, meaning like, oh, I'm really struggling with that area and everything in between. And then I also want you to tell me like why you rated it that way. So, let's go to sleep. How would you rate your sleep? A to F. Tell me why. Support system, A to F. Tell me why. Stress. How would you rate your stress level? Stress management, A to F. How would you rate your exercise? And I don't just mean coming to the gym, because I know, Katie, you are killing it coming to the gym 3 days a week. What about the other days? How active are you based on 30 minutes of daily movement per day? A to F. Why? So on and so forth. And then, so that's at the beginning, at the initial meeting. And then we're doing the same thing at the ending meeting too. And then we're comparing like, Katie, you told me that your sleep was a C and now it's an A, like, holy cow, that's amazing. How are you feeling throughout the day? How are your energy levels? Because now you're sleeping better, you're prioritizing that. So hopefully that was helpful for you. If you guys are gym owners and you're thinking like, Nicole, I might want to partner with HSN Mentoring to do all the things, I'm going to put the link in the chat to book a free call with me. If you're a coach, your gym owner needs to be on the call. If you are booking a free call, challenge intensive, really great opportunity to kickstart a nutrition coaching program. But remember, you want to have a clear client journey to have a path for them after the challenge is over. And if you guys are in Florida or want to take a trip to Florida, we would love to have you at our regional event. We're spending all day talking about health and wellness. It's practical tips to help you become a more effective nutrition coach, how to build a successful nutrition coaching program. Be a great opportunity to connect with other gym owners and coaches all looking to prioritize health and wellness inside of their gym. Cool. Autumn is a rock star. She has absolutely killed it with employee wellness and making a huge impact in her community. She actually won an award this year, on impact, on all the things that she's doing in her community with health and wellness. She has a partnership with a radio station, a grocery store, and a ton of different businesses to really get the name out of impact. Ironically, she is making a huge impact and her business name is Impact. So she's killing it. Thanks, Autumn, for joining today. Cool. Well, I hope everyone had a really great time and learned so much. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Yes, we will have this recording up. Be on the lookout for an email in the next hour or so, and we'll get it out for you. I hope to see you guys in person. If you learned a lot here, like I cannot imagine what you're going to learn. I mean, I can. I'm going to be delivering that content too on the Challenge Intensive, that one day training that we have on March 28th. So hopefully we see you guys there. All right. Bye, guys.